Welcome to a multiverse of imagination. As we rewrite the stories you thought you knew.
Previously, in G.I. Joe, martial law. In the midst of a battle against Cobra, Flint and his team were unexpectedly transported to an alternate reality controlled by a tyrannical G.I. Joe regime. They encounter familiar faces turned adversary, and clash with former allies. Amidst the chaos, an unexpected alliance is made, with this world's Cobra commander promising a way home. Meanwhile, the captured beachhead and shipwreck face interrogation from Duke, only to discover they are not the first to arrive from their reality.
Issue 2. Preparing for Battle. Deep within the covert headquarters of the newly formed alliance between the displaced Joes and their new allies, an alternate heroic version of Cobra, the air hummed with a palpable tension. Flint stood at a tactical map spread across a war room table. Cobra Commander, his white uniform a stark contrast to what the Joes normally knew, joined him in an intense conversation. Flint's eyes scanned the map, tracing the layout of the G.I. Joe outpost they planned to infiltrate. Cobra Commander engaged in strategic discourse with Flint. Their alliance, born out of necessity, held a delicate balance between trust and a shared goal.
I need my team back.
Flint asserted, his gaze unwavering.
And we need to stop whatever this G.I. Joe is planning with its meth device.
Cobra Commander, his face obscured by his golden mask, leaned over the map, tracing a route with his gloved finger.
Agreed, Flint. We have a common enemy in G.I. Joe. Once we rescue your comrades, we'll deal with them.
As the plan unfolded, tension simmered beneath the surface. Mercer, a member of Cobra with a history of opposing Cobra Commander's methods, took his leader aside.
Commander,
Mercer interjected, his voice firm.
are we sure we can trust them?
Cobra Commander turned to face Mercer.
In war, alliances shift. We have a common goal, Mercer. For now, they are assets. Don't let personal history cloud your judgment.
The impending infiltration mission into the G.I. Joe outpost loomed, setting the stage for a high-stake operation that could tip the balance in this alternate reality. The air was thick with a mix of determination and uncertainty, as Lady J and Roadblock were assigned the critical task of gathering vital information. Flint, his voice steady, addressed the two operatives.
Lady J, Roadblock, you'll infiltrate their outpost under the guise of your counterparts and find out everything you can.
Lady J, her demeanor focused, nodded in acknowledgement.
We'll get the job done, Flint.
Cobra Commander, standing nearby, interjected.
You won't be alone. I have a man on the inside. Zartan will make contact with you and provide assistance.
Roadblock arched an eyebrow at Cobra Commander's revelation, skepticism written across his face.
Is Zartan's allegiance true or just his clever ruse?
Cobra Commander's masked expression remained unreadable.
In this world, alliances are forged in strange ways.
As Lady J and Roadblock left the war room to prepare for their mission, Mercer observed the exchange with a growing sense of suspicion and resentment. His gaze lingered on Cobra Commander, and Mercer tried to grapple with the intricate dynamics of their alliance, a web of loyalties and distrust that would be tested in the impending mission. Meanwhile, on a desolate road, a lone Jeep rattled toward the facility, its headlights cutting through the darkness. Inside, a very different Lady J and Roadblock unwittingly headed into an ambush. Snake Eyes and Flint, along with their new Cobra allies Firefly and Major Blood, lay in wait. The air crackled with tension as the Jeep approached, the low hum of its engine signaling the moment to strike. As the Jeep neared, Snake Eyes, a shadow in the night, moved with a silent grace. Flint, his gaze unwavering, signaled to Firefly and Major Blood to prepare for the ambush. The two sides collided in a flash of chaotic energy as Snake Eyes and Flint pounced on the Jeep, attempting to wrest control. In the scuffle, Firefly and Major Blood, working in tandem with the Joes, subdued Lady J and Roadblock. The clash was swift, and soon the captured pair found themselves disarmed and restrained, facing the cold reality of their predicament.
You fools may have think you've won, but this game has just begun.
The alternate Roadblock said. The Joes and Cobra wasted no time, escorting the captured Lady J and Roadblock back to the prison area of the secret Cobra headquarters. In the dimly lit confines of the Cobra headquarters prison area, Lady J and Roadblock eyed their captured counterparts. Lady J, her expression masked with determination, turned to her restrained doppelganger.
You won't be needing this,
She said defiantly as she removed the captured operative's distinctive headgear. As Lady J donned the acquired crimson beret, she looked at her reflection in the small grimy mirror. A familiar but strange visage stared back at her. Roadblock, towering in stature and presence, faced his captured counterpart.
Time to trade. Don't evade.
He gloated to his counterpart. With a quick swap of the uniforms and gear, the transformation was complete. Meanwhile, inside the cold confines of the G.I. Joe brig, Beachhead and Shipwreck found themselves restrained, their expressions defiant, despite their captivity. Across from them stood Supreme Leader Duke, his stern gaze piercing through the shadows, and to his right, a familiar and warped face of Dusty, his demeanor equally formidable. Duke leaned forward, his voice dripping with authority.
You two are a long way from home. What were you doing in Springfield?
Beachhead, his jaw clenched with resolve, met Duke's gaze head on.
Sneeden, Wayne, R. RA 011-60-9231. Grade E-6.
Dusty, his brow furrowed with suspicion, stepped forward.
And who sent you? Who do you answer to?
Shipwreck's lip twisted with a defiant smirk.
We answer to the real G.I. Joe, not this twisted version you've cooked up.
Duke's patience wore thin, fists slamming into the bars of their cage.
Enough games. Tell us everything you know about your allies and their plans.
Beachhead exchanged a knowing glance with Shipwreck before turning back to Duke.
We'll tell you nothing. We're not afraid of you or your lackeys.
Dusty's eyes narrowed, his voice laced with menace.
You'll regret your defiance, soldier.
As the interrogation continued, the tension in the room reached a boiling point. Beachhead and Shipwreck remained steadfast in their refusal to cooperate, their loyalty to the true G.I. Joe unwavering. With each passing moment, the walls of the brig seemed to close in, a tangible reminder of their captivity. Duke, his patience now worn completely thin, rose from his seat.
Very well. You leave us no choice but to extract the information by force. Dusty, I'd like you to go get Dr. Mindbender. Their universe is Dr. Mindbender.
Beachhead braced himself for what was to come, his resolve unyielding even in the face of impending danger. Shipwreck, his eyes ablaze with defiance, stood shoulder to shoulder with his comrade, ready to endure whatever torture they might face. As Duke prepared to employ their ruthless interrogation tactics, Shockwave entered the room.
Sir,
He said, standing at attention.
Lady J and Roadblock have finally returned to base.
Duke turned to face Shockwave.
Well, it's about time.
To be continued. What's up, gang? Dragonus Pride come back at you from my dungeon, and here's the issue 2 for G.I. Joe Martial Law. And man, this story is really starting to heat up. We've got G.I. Joe working with Cobra still. They're getting ready to infiltrate the evil G.I. Joe base. And then you got another little side story with Beachhead and Shipwreck, which I've got a lot of stuff planned for them, so make sure you don't miss issue 3. So now let's talk about the new things that I added. First off, we added the previously on, which I really liked having it in there. I'm a huge fan of the old X-Men cartoons, and I always figured the previously on X-Men, and I always wanted to add something like that, and this fit perfectly for this story. If this is something you guys really liked, I could start adding this to all of my videos where there have coinciding stories, like especially Prime Universe. I can get how those can get a little confusing, because those are almost, as many as the Marvel films close to it, so you can lose stuff in there. Also, I added drawings of what's happening in the story itself. Did you guys like that? Did you guys really enjoy seeing that to help visualize what was happening in the story? This took me a lot of time to do this. It was well worth the effort. I think I personally really enjoy it. So let me know, drop a comment or hit a like button. Let me know if you guys liked it. I would really appreciate that. That would mean so much to me if you guys hit that like button just to show me how much you enjoyed it. Otherwise though, I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. Don't, like I said, hit that like, hit that subscribe, drop comments below. Let me know what you would do different. Let me know what characters you want to see coming up. We've still got four more issues coming. So let me know what you guys want to see. Other than that, now you know. Knowing is half the battle. See y'all on the funny pages. Hey everyone, today's video is sponsored by Faraday Toys, your go-to toy store for all things fun and exciting. Whether you're in Indianapolis or browsing online, Faraday Toys has everything you need to ignite your imagination. Don't miss out. Check them out today. Links are below in the description.